Alrighty, so really fast, I just want to remind us of inverse operations. If it has adding, we would subtract. If it has subtraction, we would have adding. So these right here, right, would be anytime you are moving a whole term. Okay? A whole term would be something like 3x squared, 4y, negative 2x, positive 8y cubed, we'll say. You know what I mean? Those are terms. Those are all terms. When you are multiplying and dividing, right, that is separating terms. So that would be like saying you have 3x squared and you're dividing it by 3. You have 4y and you're dividing it by y. You have x over 2 and you're timesing it by 2, right, to get that x by itself, okay? So anytime you're separating, you're multiplying or dividing. Anytime you're moving, you're adding and subtracting, okay? So the first couple, I'm going to kind of give you how to do it just as a reminder, make your life a little bit easier. So it says for number 7, I want you to subtract 1 from both sides. So what I always tell my students, what I like to do is say, all right, this is what I want to get alone. That kind of visually tells me this is on the same side and needs to move. So it says subtract 1 from both sides. So that means here and here. That goes away, giving me 8. And then in order to get b by itself, I need to divide by 4 on both sides. So I'm going to divide by 4 here, divide by 4 here. So b equals 2. See if you can follow number 8, right? See if you can follow that down and get that yourself. Welcome back. So it says subtract 18 from both sides. So that gives me 2. And then it says multiply by 14 on both sides. So multiply by 14 here, multiply by 14 here. These ones cancel out. 2 times 14 is 28. Okay. Now the bottom ones are the same things. They're just not telling you how to do it. Okay. So see if you can get 9. If not, you can follow along with me. So again, start with drawing your barrier. Then we have this that I want to get alone, right? Because that has the letter, meaning this is what needed to move. So you should have first subtracted 21.61 on both sides. That gives me negative 1.29z on that side. And then 10 minus 21.61 is negative 11.61. And then in order to get the z by itself, right, we would have to divide because I want to now separate it. That's now gone. I'm just left with z. And then whatever that divided by 1.29 is. And it is positive because they are both negatives. Okay. So again, 10 is very similar to 8. I want you to see if you can get 10. And if you feel up to it, try 11 too. Welcome back. We should have added 2 to both sides. That still gives us y over 4 here. And then on the other side, we have negative 6 plus 2. That is negative 4. Again, if you're still struggling with that, we can do our thing. We have negative 6 here. We have 6 here. We have 2 here. The 6 side won by 4, so that's why it's negative. Then in order to get the y all by itself, I need to divide by 4 on both sides. That goes away. So y equals negative 16. Hopefully that's what you got. See if you can get 11. Come on, you got this. Welcome back. We should have added 13 on both sides. That gives me negative 15x still over here. And then again, we have 70, we have 13. Who won? The 70 side. So my answer is negative. I know that. And 70 minus 13 would be 57, which means this is probably going to be a decimal, but that's okay. Then I'm going to divide by negative 15 on both sides. And x equals 3.8. And notice on 9 and 11, when I got to that second step, when I brought down that, variable with a number, I took the sign with it. Keeping the sign with it is going to help ensure that your answer is correct at the end, right? Because if I didn't have this negative here, then I wouldn't divide by the negative, which means my final answer would have been incorrect because negative 3.8 is not the same as positive 3.8. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you keep the sign on your thing. If it would help you to bring down a plus sign as well, like you do you. Whatever makes the most sense in your brain, just make sure that you're taking your signs with it. Great job. Hopefully you're feeling a little more comfortable and remember